Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
We got it going. Welcome to it. It's the Out of the Pocket podcast. We're here with Mitch Ellerman. This is Boombox coming
Where
to
am I
you
looking?
live.
Where am I looking?
Right over here.
Hi.
Camera right over there. Hey.
There we go. All right, cool.
Coming to you live, 2023 Derby City Classic. How's it been so far?
From a tournament standpoint, quite good. Some extracurricular wagering activities, not so good.
Not so good.
Walking a little funny, you know.
Yeah, I feel it. Ooh, rough, huh?
It's been a
Betting
rough
on other
week.
people or betting on yourself?
Myself.
Yep.
Yeah, I get staked, and a guy that stakes me doesn't mind losing some dough, so we put it in action, and was not a good week.
Who are you playing? Tell me about it.
I lost.
If you want to. If you don't want to, that's fine too.
I lost a pretty good number to the guys from Detroit. I'm not going to mention any names, but it was a game where I've been out of practice, like competing tournaments in a while, so it's not an excuse, but like it's kind of like a fighter coming out of retirement. You know, the reflexes, everything, their head. So I guess I just thought I was still in a place, and clearly I wasn't.
You're playing one pocket or you're playing rotation?
I played one pocket all the games that I matched up this week, and yeah, it was not very eventful.
Didn't go your way.
Yeah, I lost 40,000 to one guy and 50,000 to another, so it was a pretty rough week.
You're a pretty chipper dude for down 90. That's solid.
I mean, you know, people will be like, "Oh, it's a stake horse, it's money." Yeah, but you know what? I got to make some of that up too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
don't act like it's
Well, you got the right attitude, man.
sunshine. Well, I mean, I've been wrong before, so I mean, at the same time, it's, you know, that's what comes with it. I've been on the winning end too. Last month I won 65,000, so I mean, it's not always, but
Easy
a lot
come,
of it is
easy
just
go when you're working out.
Well, and I'll say that, you know, a lot of people never hear about me doing this, doing that. And they're right. You know, I've always worked, and I had a good guy behind me, and there's still a good understanding. You think I'm happy. This guy, he didn't even flinch. He's not even sweating it one bit, so it's hilarious.
That's got to be a really reassuring thing, you know. I mean, that first big loss, you got to go with your tail between your legs. But when you see that support,
I had the first win, too, so it's kind of like he knows that I'm there, but at the same time, I'm getting clocked on how I used to play versus how I currently play.
So you're kind of talking about coming back to the game. What kind of time frame are we talking? Are we talking about COVID, or are we talking about a longer period of time?
Like I was on the prospects for the 2018 Moscone Cup team. I did not make it. I did go to Russia, which was awesome.
Yeah.
I got to learn about some of the top USA players on a little bit better level, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just kind of, because I'm always a singles tournament or whatnot, so it's kind of be cool being part of a team.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
this is really an individual game, so when you get to engage with people,
yeah. And it's a different kind of, because you want it so bad. So my heart's pumping, blood going, ready to shoot. Like, you know what I mean? So and I'm always a quick pace player. You guys can tell how I talk. Everything goes quick.
It's true.
So
Mitch comes out firing, man. I've seen you play more banks than anything, but man, you bank the ball strong.
Well, you think long, you think wrong. So I try not to think.
I like it. So how'd you end up in banks this year?
I finished the same round in banks as I did in the one pocket. I did not play in the 9-ball because I didn't think I was going to be here this long. But I ended up round 10 in both events, I understand. So whatever place that equates to.
That's a solid finish, though. 10
I'm not mad at it.
Good deal. Good for you. What's your favorite event out here? Do you consider yourself a rotation player or one pocket player?
You know what? I've always been a rotation player, loving 9-ball and 10-ball. But everybody has come so far along. I feel like I'm like this, you know, 1990s Honda.
Yeah, totally. I swear I can keep
got
up.
a lot of miles, but dang it, I'm reliable.
Got a new exhaust system, but I don't know if it's going to work.
I'm just not as quick off the line anymore.
Yeah. Now, you play out of Vegas, right?
I currently reside in Arizona. I moved back to Arizona after a 5-year stint in Vegas.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good to be back?
There's no place like home.
Yeah.
It's very nice. The pool community is very big.
Seems like a huge community down there.
And they're well organized. They don't mind, you know, organizing things, putting it together, and then, you know, pushing each other along. So it's kind of nice to be around it a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. What's an exciting Derby story? How long have you been coming to Derby?
My first Derby, I want to say, was either 2006 or 2007. I attended it 2 years at the Executive West.
Okay.
And one of the first matches, I'll say, that was kind of eye-opening for me as Hennessy was getting the 9-ball playing Shane. in the action room, and they were playing 10 ahead for some ungodly amount of number in the middle. And then this is back. I mean, people were posting the money on the light. There were so many hundreds. The old diamond light was just tilting.
Yeah.
It was sick because, I mean, you're posting here, you're posting here, doing this, bet. And oh my God, it was sick. And it was pretty funny in a sense that Hennessy had a chance to win. He's at 9. And he didn't get out, and Shane's like, he got no shot. Pardon my impression. I'm not trying to be offensive, more funny than anything. No, you twist that on me, you guys are messed up.
Pretty good impression.
Thanks. And yeah, he ended up coming back. I think they had to play a match after he got it back to even, and then it turned into like a 16-hour session. Oh. And I was like, man, these guys are titans.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty surreal thing to see, and give some perspective.
You see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, I had never left Arizona, so I didn't, there's, okay, it's playing pool, but then when you're consuming it on so many different levels of like, wow, this guy didn't know he was going to be strapped in for a 24-hour workday for somebody's annual salary. Like that's pretty thick when you start looking at that perspective. Absolutely. So it was pretty neat, and it was kind of a surreal moment because it showed me, damn, I didn't know this side of pool.
Yeah. Have you been engaged in some super long ones? You play that too?
No, I'm built for comfort, not speed,
It's a quick off the line, yeah. Right on.
But I've played a couple of headsets, but they never went real long.
Yeah.
So,
cool.
Knock on wood.
What do you think is so special and unique about the Derby City Classic?
Everybody knows to show up for it. The fields get deep because some people don't want to pay the full admission to watch for the pass. So like the bank field gets rather deep because of it.
Yeah.
And then it's just everybody knowing that they're coming here with the same mission. I'm going to make a score this week.
Yeah.
And it's good. Brings out the competitiveness, and you definitely, you got to be at your best. And when you're not, you're paying off. So don't worry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's a whole lot that goes on here that like more and more people, I think that's why it's like so packed, is you had COVID and everybody realizes that it's a thing now. Hopefully you realize it's more like the common flu and you're not letting it rule your life and you're out enjoying it. And I think that's what a lot of people are doing.
Yeah.
It's great to see Efren here going so deep in the one pocket, showing that, hey guys, I might be old, but I ain't dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome.
It's so wild. I would love to see him pull it down, man.
That'd be awesome.
I lost to Pinniger, but so, I mean, there's a little piece of me that's like, it'd be cool to see him win a bit. I mean, who can you root for but Efren?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, Tony's playing great too.
And Tony, yeah.
Tony was nice enough to give me my first loss.
Yeah, sweetheart. How long did it last?
Yeah, he made quick work of me on the TV table. He's like, thanks for showing up.
Well, I mean, it's just going to be one way or the other.
I think I got a game. I ran 8 now. We're 7 now. But again, it's just giving perspective as to what, more you can do. The other loss I sustained was filler. And through his straight pool background, the way he goes through the stack and his cue ball, man, it is it's something to watch.
Yeah, it really is. The ability to play straight pool completely changes one pocket. One pocket has changed so much dynamically as a game.
Oh, absolutely. It's like Steph Curry changing the NBA because of the three-pointer. More people are shooting it than ever.
How do you feel about a 4-point line?
I don't think.
No? 11-foot rim?
No. So I think they're doing great things, and that's the great thing is like, so what? They're just elevating the competition. Yeah. You don't need to change it to make it. It's been that way. What's wrong with tradition? Like, if they're doing their best, putting in the work, let them flaunt it.
Totally.
I appreciate greatness, and if they're doing great things, by all means, tip your hat to them.
How do you feel about the tighter pockets this year? Down to 4 1/4.
I think it made the banks hold up a little bit, but I don't know. I don't mind it personally. I think it's really good, especially because it helps the one pocket. But you are seeing some longer drug out. I've seen a 6-hour one pocket match, 5.5-hour match yesterday between Billy Thorpe, Anthony McLino, and Billy is not shy about shooting at his hole.
Yeah, Billy's going more than 5. That's wild. We saw an almost 7-hour match.
Yeah.
I mean, that is wild. I love the tighter pockets. Do you think it's because people are less likely to shoot the shot, or do you feel like people are rattling more balls and that's what's slowing it down?
I think it's a little bit of both.
Uh-huh.
Law averages, people playing the percentage, but I mean, in one pocket, you're probably playing to get close to the hole anyway, so they're on the defense. But what do I know? I didn't. I'm not some one pocket guru or anything. I just
Man,
like
round
shooting
10's
my
nothing
hole.
to sneeze at.
Well, I mean, it's all perspective. It's just a short race to three. You can't read that far into it.
Yeah, I agree. Who's the best one pocket player alive today?
Currently, see, it's really tough. I mean, Efren's right there, so I'm never gonna disrespect the man. He's the greatest of all time. But if I had to bet like an action match, I'm going with Mr. Pagaline.
Yeah.
It's tough
I had to pull my foot out of my mouth this morning. I came down because last night I think I pissed everybody off here. I was just like, come on, Efren's not going to beat Alex tomorrow. I want him to beat him. I really do. But you're talking about a guy that's at the peak of his game, young man, versus a guy that's almost 70 years old. I don't think he's going to do it. And Efren totally pulled it off. He was the last one with the life.
But that's like I said, it's the race to three format. But like I said, I've seen Alex do personally, action in Vegas, holding a guy, giving up the same spot that Dennis did, and then slowly getting a little bit bigger.
He and JRB is still at 15-3, right?
So this is when I lived in Vegas, and they were playing. They played. Again, I'm not going to try and mention any names, but they went from one day they were playing 17,000 a game. It started at 13-3. And Alex lost the first game, and he shook his head and he said, okay, make an adjustment. That fool wins the next 7 in a row. 7 in a row. 17,000. My arm's going to have Tourette's.
Yep, that's 91 right there. Or no?
It's a big swing.
It's a big number. I think my math might have been a little off there. But.
So they end up not playing. And then, of course, I go into Griff's like every other day.
Yeah.
And before you know it, they're starting to play races to 3 and 4 for a big 5-figure number.
Yeah.
And I think Alex, I know it went back and forth, but I never saw him lose a session. And that's saying something, when you're holding a guy to 3 or less and being like, you got all this rack to shoot at any given time. And JRB, I've played him recently. Like, he is creative. He shoots these bank combos, these 2-railers, and I'm like, ugh.
I know. My first derby 3 years ago, I watched him take 50 off Alex. It was my first night here. I'm like, well, there's a chair open right over there. And I walk in and sit down, and next thing I know, Alex is sitting next to me. And I'm like, oh, I'm in the player chair. I'm an asshole right now. So I'm sitting there, and both of them were coming over and sitting with me, and they're kind of talking, and JRB's like, everybody's against me. And, I mean, Alex is just, he ran 15 and out. I think they were doing a race to 5 for, again, a big number. And I watched Alex run 15 and out at least 2 times, maybe 3 times. He was running 15-3 and ended up losing that set. It's like, how are you giving that kind of weight against a guy that can play? I mean, and that was JRB 3 years ago, and he's only getting better. No, so it's down to like 13-3?
They were playing, it was 13-4, then it went to 14-4. I think they're at 14-4, 15-4. I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a while.
Against a guy that can pocket balls, that's 3 is just ungodly.
Yeah.
4 sounds a little more reasonable.
Yeah. Sounds like he's got a degree in welding because he just keeps them welded to balls.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, Mitch, thank you so much for your time.
No,
man.
absolutely. I appreciate it.
We love having you
here. Appreciate it. No, thanks, you guys. Have a good one.
Do you have any upcoming goals? Anything you're looking forward to?
I've faced some health challenges and some adversity this last year, and it made me realize how much I miss competing and playing pool. So maybe I'll play a little bit more this year.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, what does training look like for you? What does it mean to
the gym?
The gym? Yeah. Not the answer we like to hear.
The gym. Yeah. Unfortunately, the gym. Like Tiger revolutionized the golf tour. Shane, being that he's like 3 or 4 years older than me, I've been able to pay attention to the trends, and Shane was kind of the innovator of watching these guys get into better shape, taking better care of themselves in the pool world, as Tiger was, i.e. example in the golf world. Same thing. Not saying that he himself is responsible, because it's pool in general. You got Matchroom Sports kicking things into high gear, so hats off to them. Just doing some really great things, and it's nice to see. And I'd like to, show that I still got a little bit of an animal left inside.
Yeah. We'll let the beast loose, man. It's a pleasure. I love seeing you on the table.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here at the Out of the Pocket Podcast, Bad Boys TV, 2023 Derby City Classic.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers.